go with access first. What stops people? Self-control, instant gratification, selling too early, not staking, being educated by the wrong people. How's the 99% of people
from mad gains?
Why does 99% of people exist that don't get rich in crypto?
They don't know. They take risks on things that don't matter long term, and they flood themselves out. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, right? I'm trying to think. If I had to give the one thing, it's that they're not staying in the right thing long enough.
Graphics.
Beyond that, I mean, like, just think about it. It's like you can get flooded out of your bags. You could allocate too much capital into things that are already moving, and then you can sell a bottom. There's all these different situational things, but ultimately, like, if you find the right thing to buy and you just wait, like, that's the best way to get rich in crypto.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for one, haven't been rich in crypto, but the one thing that I see that has been a pattern that has been experiential for me is watching how much people just in this space, like you said, jump from thing to thing. They don't hold long enough. And I think, there's a part of it that's due to lack of knowing of what they're holding or why they're holding it, because a lot of people how many people do you guys know that when you're talking about crypto that maybe aren't in this ecosystem or necessarily in this space where you like talking about crypto and they're like, first thing they talk about is like, oh yeah, I threw $100 at like Floki shitcoin, whatever, like that's what everyone thinks crypto is. They're just trying to gamble and they don't understand that there's actual financial products that you can go into, So I think if people were actually educated and actually took the time to study and, even learn 10%, 20% about 20% of maybe a few core cryptos instead of just the surface level, like, will it go up? I think that would change everything. But I think that's a big lack for a lot of people of not really wanting to go the extra mile to learn.
Yeah, it's gambling. They treat it like gambling. If you treat it like gambling, you're not going to be investing. You're going to be playing the slot machine. You're going to lose a lot. You're going to have some fun, but you're going to lose a lot. Like, are you here to lose a lot? You're here to have fun, but lose a lot? I don't, that's not why I'm here. So, I think that's just the ability to see the bigger picture. And that's what I love about the ecosystem. Healthy games keeps you in playing healthy games. You got to play some game out there. There's some game you got to play if you want to get what you want. You want to get rich, you got to play some game to do that. Why not play the healthiest of games? Why not play the Richard Hart ecosystem games? That's the ones you want to play. You're going to have the best chance, the fairest, true DeFi, all that stuff that we always talk about. So it's always that tragedy I always have like in the back of my mind. It's like, I know a lot of people watching now, most of you aren't, like, even us, we can make mistakes too. I think, obviously we're not immune from making mistakes either. But I think if you give yourself the best chance to do it, at least in the end, if it doesn't work out or meteor hits or whatever happens, you can live with that. But if you're just gambling, you're just gambling.
Yeah, and I can tell you guys, like, I can give you guys a lesson for me of what hurt me the most in crypto. Out of everything I've ever done, it was that I had to sell too soon. Like, I'm okay admitting publicly that I've had to sell too soon. I went into Bitcoin and Ethereum mining. That came with a lot of overhead costs. And if I could have just held my coins and not had to sell them for overhead costs to stay in the rat race, I would have, if I could have just held the coins, I would have made it a lot better. And it was only because of Hex and being able to go in heavily around Big Payday before and after that I was able to recover from what I had lost in terms of potential gains that I had to sell to pay bills. So it's a balancing act of getting exposure to the things you want to and going in heavy at the lows, and then waiting and holding on and not having to sell. So just remember that.
That's a great lesson.
Yeah, is there something that we'll wrap up on this. One more question I'll pose. Is there something that you see people doing a lot of other than, selling too early and not controlling their emotions or this and that? Is there something people are doing that's so easy to fix if they just did this one thing? Like, they're like this click. Maybe you had it before, you had some deficiency that just made you so much better? Is there something that just people could just use and be like, if I just change this one thing, the sky will be a lot more blue as far as, success and wealth and delayed gratification goes?
Go ahead, brother.
Oh man. I think there's one thing. Oh man, that's such a tough question to put down to one thing. Okay, give me a moment here.
Could be a couple things too. Just something like of substance.
I was thinking about it so hard that I actually lost the question. Can you repeat the question again?
Is there something that, no worries. Is there something that, you either seen in yourself or other people where you're like, if I just change, or they just change this one thing, they could be give themselves much better chance of being successful, in delayed gratification and crypto, and being successful and wealth creation.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I think that's the big one.
Boom. Yeah.
Not playing at all. The people who
not playing in crypto at all, you're obviously not going anywhere. Like unless you have other things going on in your life, there's an opportunity here to really level up multiple tiers all in like one cycle with crypto. So not playing the crypto game with at least a percentage of your stack is, in my mind, the biggest mistake. And not being open-minded and not following your gut. Like if you're, hopefully your gut's not saying crypto's a scam, because then you got a whole other host of spiritual and mental issues you got to deal with. But, being open-minded is probably a big one. And then, just be willing to take a shot.
No offense is not a good defense.
Yeah. I think the thing I've noticed most with no coiners, for example, on that topic is the lack of ambition and the lack of imagination. Like those two things combined are trouble. You cannot get into crypto if you don't have it. One, imagination, open-mindedness, as you mentioned, and two, the ability to want something. Like you want it. You want something more. You need to level up. You need to go into the next tier. You need to achieve that thing, which it may be financial freedom, maybe retirement, maybe whatever it is. If you're rich, maybe a lot of that doesn't matter to you anymore. But if you're it's got to be that timing, that part in your life where you need something. You need it like air to breathe. And then you'll do what it takes to get it. And you'll be open-minded and willing and ambitious enough to go into something such as crypto, which has a lot of risk, has a lot of reward. Asymmetric risk is what we're looking for that kind of glory. So that's what I see in a lot of no coiners I talk to. It's just, they just don't want to be a part of it because they just don't, their hopes aren't that high, I guess.
Yeah. It's unreal. Like a lot of these guys, they've never even seen a 10x in anything in their money. And so to them, it's unreal. And it's just crazy, man. Like it takes a lot to break through that, and just to think that it's possible. I know the road to crypto is a long road, very challenging, very confusing, and it takes years to really deeply understand this stuff. So I don't blame them. It's tough, but hopefully people are listening, because we've been out here talking about this crap for 3 years plus now.